Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host for the Bachelorette Season 19, Miss TJoy. How are you today, Miss
Hello,
TJoy?
everyone.
So, we are on, what is it, episode 5 of the Bachelorette, this double feature season. What are your overall thoughts of this particular episode? We're like around halfway through the season.
Kleenex is missing their opportunity to market during this episode of The Bachelorette. I mean, I am so over the crying. I want these women to take back their power. I'm really over
Yeah.
the crying. So much crying. So much crying.
So, what it's showing me this season so far, and I was very excited for both of them to get this opportunity. I thought it could be interesting. I just had watched Joe Millionaire, and they had two guys, and they were able to figure it out in a way. I'm not sure why it didn't seem like there was a little bit of fighting between the women, obviously, but it didn't seem like the guys had a problem with each other if like a girl liked him or like went over to the other guy. Like they didn't seem to affect them so much. And I don't know if it's because they're guys and they're less emotional by nature. But it worked. Like they both were able to find, they're not together now, but like their person. Actually, maybe one of them still might be together. I can't remember. But it just seemed to work. So I had high hopes that this season would work, but it really, really isn't. And I think it's because Rachel is too insecure
Yep.
and she seemingly is needing validation by this experience rather than using this experience to find her person. It seems like she's looking for this experience to buy her confidence.
Yes, she needs constant reassurance. Constant reassurance. And I
That's
mean, and I'm just sick of her canceling everything. It's as though she has no coping skills. Like if one bad thing goes wrong, if one person rejects her or doesn't react or give her what she wants, then she wants to take it out on everyone and she's in no condition to see anyone. And I'm just over it. You gotta put your big girl, like my grandmother used to say, you gotta pull your big girl panties on and go about your business. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you have your moment, you're like, man, I thought we had something. That's unfortunate. And you shake it off, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you keep it moving. And you think to yourself, oh, but I got 7 other men that are trying to have my time. So let me go and entertain them. Okay. And that's how you do it.
Absolutely. Because like on this show, only most likely only one person is going to win or have the proposal at the end, or you're going to choose at the end, whatever it is. It's only going to
Right.
be one person. So he's like doing you a bit of a favor here, being like, hey, like, I don't think that you're going to choose me in the end. And I never got an opportunity to start something or just explore anything with Gabby. I want to do this now. And so, like, we're going to get into it, obviously, but he did her a favor. She doesn't have to break up with him.
He did do her a favor. And I know we're going to get into it, but I just don't understand why she never acknowledged the fact that they both liked him. She never acknowledged that there was a correlation that they both liked him. It's just that she felt like she liked him more, and Gabby just let her go with it because she was so excited about the kiss and stuff like that. And Gabby let her
Well,
go with it.
I don't think Gabby told her that they'd already kissed. Or
She
did they
didn't
kiss
tell
as
her that they
well?
already kissed, but Gabby told her she liked him. Remember when they were going over the guys they liked, Gabby told her she liked him. She did not tell her that night that they kissed because Rachel was on such cloud 9, but
And
she had
also,
already previously told her that they both had said that they liked him. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I
It
mean,
was him and Eric and one other guy that they both said that they liked.
yes, because she definitely like I definitely remember her like wanting to be like, oh yeah, like I kissed him too, but just let Rachel go with the kiss moment. And she's like, some battles I don't want to have to fight. And so she did let Rachel have it just to not be doing like, let's fight over a guy type thing. It's totally fine. He must be interested in her to a certain extent. So let me just like let her have him.
Right.
Hi, Daboo. Thank you for being here. Hi, Rachel. Oh, thank you, Rachel.
Hi,
I'm sure you look gorgeous
you.
as well.
So sweet.
Daboo says, I question whether Rachel has healed from Clayton breakup, which was intense. Not saying she still loves him, but emotionally ready for this environment. I don't think she was ready for this environment with Clayton season.
Right.
But like, I do agree that like that breakup when she's crying and her eyelashes and are you really going to put me in that car? Are you going to put me in that car? Like snotty crying over Clayton. Oh, yeah, like maybe that humiliation she's not over yet.
But Zabu, I have a feeling she's conducted her whole love life like this, though. I have a feeling like this is how she has been.
Yeah, because now we're seeing like, oh, people are like super worried about you going on like when you're doing layovers and stuff like that as a pilot. Like, I don't know if that's the case. Maybe it's you worried about them being at home when you are gone flying or something
Exactly.
like that. I don't see any partner that would choose Rachel would be worried about her straying. She doesn't give off anything other than clingy.
Stage 5 clinger at that.
Clingy number uno. So this episode, though, they're all going to Bruges, Belgium, which I've never been to, but I would like to visit for sure. There's a lot of B-roll footage of like Gabby getting an ice cream cone. I thought she looked very pretty. And then we see like Rachel looking out the telescope. I'm just like, this is so, I mean, it's fine, but it's so staged.
I know, it's like 2 in her room. I'm like, why does she have 2 telescopes?
And then you see her just like laying in the hammock. I'm just like, it's B-roll footage, hilarious. So Rachel's guys are talking amongst themselves about making Rachel feel like really special and feel really wanted and whatnot. And I'm sorry, is it bad of me to say that any guy that likes Rachel or like how Rachel is acting is not the guy for me? Like it makes me not interested in any of these guys for this, especially because they are enjoying this vibe. Like they want to be here. They want to, I mean, I understand they're on the show. I understand that they're dating her, but like I would have gotten the ick so quick.
Yeah, I think that they feel bad for her. Men like a damsel in distress, one. Okay. They don't like to see women cry and they want to be the hero and the protector. And so let me make her feel better. And what did they do to you? I'm so sorry. I'm here to let you know I'm here for you. I'll do whatever for you. You know, that type of thing. So,
Good point. That's strong point. So they're all trying to save her. That's true.
Yes.
We see Logan is even more torn because he never got his chance with Gabby. And I think, though, this is also the producer's fault as well, because they didn't really let the guys say who they wanted to be with at that point. You know what I mean? And so, like, yes, Rachel was one that gave him the rose, but he probably would have like didn't want to necessarily go home. He didn't know what was going on. Like, it's a new format. And so he's probably like, well, I do like Rachel, but let me just continue along with this process and see how it goes. But they changed everything up. Like they were supposed to be dating both of them back and forth. And then they're like, no, we're going to choose a guy and you're going to have to stick to one guy only or date one woman only. And so.
And Jesse coming to get those roses every time.
They're probably like, Hey, Daboo says, have you heard the rumor of Greg and Andrew as co-bachelor? I believe they're BFF. I could see that.
What?
Now they've opened the floodgates here of double bachelorettes. I could see them doing that. That would be a wildly more entertaining season, though. You know?
I mean, men
You
though,
know that they've
men.
been dying to have Greg as the Bachelor. They've been wanting to be the Bachelor so badly, but they know that the audience wants them to have Andrew as a Bachelor, and so this would be kind of appeasing diversity and as well as the Facebook moms with Greg.
The Facebook moms. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it will probably work. I don't. Do you like Greg?
He's okay. I mean, I think that everybody that was on Katie's season, like can't tell about them properly because I really disliked her.
You did. You
So it's
did.
hard for me to judge properly. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
was he
right.
really that? If you're really that into her, like, I don't know how I feel about you, but I definitely was on Greg's side with the whole Katieism of it all, and like after the final rose when they were talking, and she just wanted to be nasty to everybody. It just was. Bleh.
Yeah, she did. She did.
So I can't
What's
really
her sign?
tell
What
about
is
Greg.
her sign? What is Katie's
Capricorn.
sign?
Capricorn.
Oh, oh.
Greg, I believe he's probably is an air sign, I believe, isn't he? What's
Oh,
Greg? Is he a Libra?
okay.
He's definitely an air sign. Greg, the Bachelorette. Let's see. What's his sign? Greg Grippo. That's what his last name was. Right. Yeah, he's a Gemini. So that's definitely I don't like I like his vibe better than Katie's, obviously, and they're not going to get along necessarily because Aaron Earth not great necessarily, their communication skills do not match up for sure.
No.
I'm okay with this, Debu. I'm okay with it. If they're going to
I'll
go back
watch
to the
it.
well, yeah, I'll watch it. If they're going back to the well, I would like to see if they iron out some of these errors with this season, and they could figure out how to make it work with Greg and Andrew. I'm okay with that.
They
Rachel
wanted the drama, but a better way to do it would have been for them to have the guys just write down who they were feeling, secretly, like just write it down behind the scenes, and the women to get a list, like these are the men that are interested in you, and you can pick which ones you want to give a rose from this list, so you're not embarrassed. But they wanted the drama of it all. They wanted Rachel to be embarrassed and get the roses taken from her. Like they wanted that.
They wanted Rachel's tears. They're coming
Yes.
for her tears this season. So Rachel says, I do understand what it feels like to be rejected, and especially on TV, while the other Bachelorette is getting more male attention. That can't be easy. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're getting rejected, but she's really taking it way too at heart. She's not the same person as Gabby. She doesn't have the same guys that are interested in her as Gabby does. She doesn't want the same things as Gabby wants. Like, why is she comparing herself to Gabby? Like, look at what connections that you have. Look at the people that you are building connections with. Were you really that into Logan? Or are you just into the fact that he wanted to be there for you? Like,
Thank you. It was just, she just was mad because he wanted to go to Gabby. She is into Avon and Tino and Tyler. That is who she likes. Okay. That is who she really, really likes. And she just doesn't like the fact that somebody else is rejecting her. And comparison is the thief of joy. It is the thief of joy. And stop doing that. Like, you don't know what's going on. You're not on Gabby's dates. So just focus on you and your connections. That's the problem. She always looking at what she do. Every time she having a good day, she over there. He looks shady. He's shady to me. She's always like commenting on something. Like, just worry about you and your connection.
If she did, she would be a lot happier if she focused on the connections that she had. And you know what, though? I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people are not attracted to her for what she's doing, right? They're just kind of like,
she needy.
Yeah, like her face. You're like, she's needy.
Yes. Some men don't like that. Some men like damsel in distress and they like to be needed. And some men are like, she needy. It just depends.
Well, they want someone that's like that. they don't have to reassure all the time. Like it would be very, very exhausting. And another thing though, that it's making me, I don't know if it's dislike. I'm not sure where I'm at feeling wise with Rachel, but one thing that's bothering me with, like, okay, she's crying all the time, all that stuff. We're going to talk about it over and over again this episode recap. But the fact that she did not take into consideration Gabby's feelings when she gave Hayden that rose shows to me that she is all about herself and not about Gabby at all. Right? So, like,
what did you do her moon? Did you do her rising and stuff? Because she is very me centered. Did you do it or no?
I don't know if I did. Is she a Leo rising?
Because that makes, that says a lot. If she's a Leo, a Pisces with a Leo rising.
Did I send you a list or no?
No, you just told me she was a Pisces and that Gabby was a Capricorn. You didn't.
Somebody I think sent me. I don't know if it was for this or for Big Brother. Hold on, let me see if I can find. It might have been for Big Brother though. I don't know if I know.
I know you did it for Big Brother. I saw you in on the other thing. You do it with Big Brother. I saw that.
I think it might be only for. I don't think I have. I need to find it out. I guess I could make her chart actually at one point. I'm gonna do her chart. If I can find it, if anybody knows the time she was born, that would be great. And her location of birth, that would be great. If you can find those two things out for me, I will see what at least her moon is and maybe her Mercury, so I can see how she communicates and how she's emotionally charged, because she's probably a Leo, because Leo moons get really upset when they're not the center of attention. Like they definitely have their emotions fed by people giving them attention. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that's her moon sign.
Yeah, she never took into Gabby's feelings. And then even still with that, she just like with the men, I want her to take her power back. But when she cancels stuff, she doesn't take into effect what that does to damage the relationship. And then you're going to be wondering why they're going to leave, but you're going to blame it on their rejecting you. But maybe they want to leave because every time they turn around, they feel like you're throwing a tantrum and you canceling something, and they can't get a connection with you. And who want to keep going through that? But she's going to look at it as somebody else is rejecting her, and she's not taking accountability for the role that she plays in these relationships. And I like how Tino was like, no, you gonna have to, you gotta talk to me. You owe me an explanation and some open communication.
We're gonna get into how much I loved what he had to say. And in the meantime, I'm gonna try at the same time to be pulling up her chart. Okay. So Tino, Zach, Meatball, Ethan, Tyler, his name is Ethan, right? Yeah. Tyler and Logan are going to be going on the group date. How sweet it is to be loved by you. So this means that Avon, our cutie patootie, has the one-on-one date.
Yes.
So, but then we see Logan going over to Rachel's. I personally thought Logan was quite kind in how he approached it. I thought that she was very cold and quite rude, being like, "Why did you wait this long to tell me? Like, in 2 weeks, it's hometown. Like, why you waited this long for you to reject me?" And I'm thinking, like, wait, didn't you like not have a rose ceremony? So like, he's probably like short one rose ceremony, and he probably would have done it before, but like he didn't have the chance because he keep on canceling stuff.
Exactly.
Keep on canceling stuff, so he hasn't had the chance to be able to do it.
She was like, don't even, because he was trying to say like, but I think you're great. Listen. You don't have to. She was mad.
She was so.
She did not want to hear it.
I understand that it's embarrassing, it's annoying. He's been here for so long, but it's like she's gonna have to break up with him anyways. She's not dating. She's not taking him to final two. Like she's not marrying this guy. So like, be happy that he was like, because they always say if at any time you don't feel like I'm the connection for you, please decide to step away. And like you could
Right.
choose to accept or not accept the rose. Maybe he was like seeing if it was going to work, or maybe if the feelings were going to grow, but then you keep on canceling stuff. So he's not getting an opportunity to really get to know you anymore. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to take my chances over with Gabby, because like I might give him 2 dates instead of like having 2 canceled dates with you. Yeah, I'm going to go. Sorry.
Exactly.
But he didn't even know, like he was going, but he didn't even know if Gabby was going to be able to take him on or how she felt. But he wasn't that into Rachel anymore, and he didn't ever get the opportunity to pursue Gabby in the way that he might have wanted to.
Right.
So frustrating. So Dabu said she kept hating because her ego was bruised, and he pledged to Team Rachel. I know, but what about Gabby? You know, considering she's supposed to be your best friend. Your best friend.
And he said she was rough around the edges and all that stuff.
All I wrote down from, like, she was kind of rude. Yeah, she's rude to him. I get it. She's upset. She doesn't like what he did, but like, you don't have to be that rude to him. Like,
right.
Also on a journey to find love. He's not just there to pamper your ego. And then I wrote, oh Lord, the tears. Everybody rejects me week after week after week after week after week. No, why don't you look at it as they are like, this is the universe steering you away from something that is not meant for you.
Clearing your path so you can find your man. Clearing it. You don't have to have removing the clutter.
Right? If she just like looked at things in a different way, she needs a therapist. She really does.
She definitely needs a therapist.
She does not.
I mean, she can hire me. She can hire me too.
We can do joint. I'll give her some hypnotherapy. You can give her some regular coaching or whatnot. She needs help though. Like,
she definitely does.
She needs to be reframing and taking it off of her and not be such a victim to everything, and realize that she is actually in the power seat of her entire life. So all these things that she's crying over were completely preventable and completely of her doing. Yeah. Like
and at any time she can change the narrative, and at any time you can change the narrative.
Exactly. If she decides like you want to. Exactly. But she seemingly is more comfortable playing the victim as opposed to being the victor, the one that makes a decision, that stands in her power. Like, you rejected week after week, or week after week, you've had people that you realize that you weren't in alignment with, that you just fell off out of your path easily. So you didn't have to have a messy breakup, or something down the line didn't have to happen that was going to be even worse. Like, she needs some redirecting and reframing. Yes. She needs to learn how to reframe. And the people
have to stop enabling her, because they're reinforcing it. Like, the attention that she gets from it is reinforced. Jesse gotta come talk to her. Rachel gotta come talk to her. All the men have to talk to her one by one and prove how loyal they are and what they'll do to make her happy. You know, it's just, reinforcing that behavior. I'm sick of it.
Like, is it like they don't like hire these people, or like have like, I love Gabby. I think Gabby's doing a pretty good job being her soundboard there. But like, I need somebody that can really help her, because she needs to not allow every single thing that happens to completely destroy her. These are very easy. Like, you don't like this guy. Who cares?
Yes. And let me tell you this also side note, outfit, she does nothing to her hair. Gabby switches her hair up. It's almost like she dyed her hair. Did you notice, like, her hair went from being a little light, having streaks, to being like really dark brown, and then she tries to curl it and have some height in the back and part it down the middle and switch it up and have it to the side. Rachel's still looking like plain.
She's plain. She really is
plain with that pink tinted lip gloss. I don't even know if it's lipstick. It's like, do something. It's like,
I
And that little bit of
know.
makeup you do have on, as soon as you cry, it's gone. It's like, ma'am, do something.
Please do something. Yeah, I don't know. She's not getting a stylist, and she's probably like jealous of Gabby because Gabby's taller, Gabby's thinner, Gabby has better style. Like Gabby
Yeah.
is more fun. Gabby laughs all the time. Gabby has more guys that are staying with her, and so she's probably just like, Gabby, you're gonna go to Gabby. You're gonna go to Gabby. Like, okay, so
Oh, God.
Rachel's guys are on the group date. They're all excited. They're like, they can't wait to see her. They really want to spend some time with her while Rachel is laying on the couch crying. And 2 weeks till hometown, and this guy is leaving. Good. Good.
Every week somebody leaves me.
I'm such a failure as a bachelorette. Yeah, if you say that, it's true. If you say this is true, we will not prove you otherwise.
It's
If you
true.
believe it for yourself, whatever you believe to
Right.
be true, Rachel, is true. So if you think you're a failure as a bachelorette, you are going to align with everything that's going to make that be true. So you got to change your vocabulary. You're going to have to change your beliefs about yourself. You're going to change your how you think about all these situations and circumstances, because you are creating the narrative that you are worried about by catastrophizing it.
Yeah.
That's a hard word. Catastrophizing it, I think. It's just like when you could make it, everything's so bad and this is happening, and like don't see the silver lining. It's just everything's a dark cloud, everything's horrible, downward spiral. Like that's what she does all the time, and that's actually praying for these negative things that you don't want to happen, and then you come in energetic alignment with these negative things that you don't want to happen. So she is creating this reality for herself, and it's really hard to watch because we want our heroes to overcome these things. We want her to do things in spite of somebody saying something negative about her or deciding to go and choose someone else. We want to see her overcome her emotions and her tears.
Yes.
If she had like, I'm not letting anybody make me cry on my day with these guys. I am going to go and show up for them because they're showing up for me. If she'd done that, we'd be like, Rachel, yes, screw Logan. Like, we've been so rooting for her. Like, now we're just
you better preach that word. You better preach that word, girl, and uplift her. We need to send her this video and uplift her. Okay? Yes, that's the attitude she needs.
She totally needs it. And Jesse, like, God bless him, but he is not a real good motivator. Like, he just doesn't bring anything to the table with like
he's looking at her and she's crying. I tried to be the perfect bachelor as well, and it didn't happen. You can't be perfect. And I'm like, that's all you got?
I guess it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
That's all he had. Girl, that's all he had.
Say to her, though, what the people that it doesn't define you. Other people do not define you. You define yourself. You get to choose who you are. You get to choose who people get to see. Everybody else doesn't define you. You can't judge your insides with everybody else's outsides. Like you can't do that because you'll never be happy. And like you said, comparison is the thief of all joy. And that is why she's so miserable, is because she's comparing her experience to Gabby's, and that it's completely different situations, completely different perspectives, completely different life stories, history. There's so much that's different between those two that, like, I don't even understand why she's comparing herself. I mean, I guess like I learned a long time ago to stop comparing myself because it's not helpful. I only got me to work with. So like, why do I work with somebody else's plan?
But you know what? I think about the backgrounds in which you and I come from. When you're in a predominantly maybe white neighborhood, white school, you learn if your parents have, instill in you and brought you up to have good self-esteem, you learn to stop comparing yourself very early in life
That's true.
because you're nothing like them. So you
That's
don't
true.
even try. You know what I mean? You don't even try. You want to stand out. You already stand out and you're going to be proud of the fact that you stand out and you're just not even going to try. But, when you've been pampered and sheltered and everybody looks like you and everybody does the same thing and you know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe, and you're a
I guess
Pisces. I mean, sometimes
I
you
just
just,
have never really thought about it in that way, that I've always had to be comfortable being different or other or
yes,
not chosen or so
yes,
yeah, I probably had to learn that a lot sooner. So maybe this is our first lesson in like, hey, some people might not be into you. There's millions of people that are not
right,
going to be into you, Rachel. Like
right,
millions. Millions of people
right,
are not going to be into you.
right, right.
And me too. Like millions of people are not into me as well. And so I'm
Same
not
here, same
if you're not
here.
into me, I'm definitely not into you. It's great. Thank you for
Right,
letting me know. Like I don't have to waste my breath. And that's another thing too. With like I find with connections, like I've never really had it that it's not reciprocated, right? Like I'm never usually that person that thinks that something's going on when something isn't. You know what I mean? And so
yeah.
that's another thing that I don't understand with her is like, does she think that more is going on and it isn't? Or is it purely because he's rejecting her?
It's purely because he is rejecting her. I'm telling you, it's purely because of that. You have never seen her in a confessional be like, "Ooh, I'm just so into Logan. I just like him so much." You have
True.
never heard her say that. It
Very
is just
true.
because he rejected her. And not only did he reject her, but it's a double whammy. He not only rejected her like, "Oh, I don't want to roast from you and I want to go home." It's, "I don't want to roast from you, but I want to go over here to Gabby." You know what I mean? So it was a double whammy, you know? So,
It's so true. So yeah, Jesse kind of gives some words of wisdom. I don't know. Jesse goes over to the guys at the date and tells them that it's canceled. It's so rude. Like you're like, okay, you're the star of the show and you canceled, and but you're worried about being the worst bachelorette. Well, do you know what the
right,
bachelorettes do? They go on those dates in spite of what they're feeling because they owe it to the
yeah,
people that they're dating.
right.
So does
They,
Logan
I mean,
mean more to you than all
Tasha
of
has
them?
pulled it. Remember, Tasha had to pull it together. I mean, there have been many a bachelorettes, Michelle. There have been many a bachelorettes that have felt like something and just was like, "Well, I gotta just pull it together and go to this cocktail party. I gotta pull it together and go on this date." I mean, you do what you have to
That's
do.
what you're gonna
Even
pay
if
the
you
big
change
bucks
the date, there have
for.
been times when they changed the date and made it more intimate because maybe they didn't want to go in a crowd. Just come over to the house, we'll cook or something. But I mean, you still gotta. The show must go on. The show must go on.
Mhm. Um, yes, I agree, Rachel, though. At some point, she has to be in control of her journey. Yes, she does.
Yes,
And
yes.
yes, she did keep hating because her ego was blued. And yes, I feel like Gabby noticed she's playing the victim a bit. She's unbothered, but she's unbothered. Well, do you know what? So Logan goes over to
Gabby.
Gabby, and she's really shocked that he's there or whatever. And when she sits down, she's doing her regular like Gabby like head nods. Now that
Uh-huh.
like I'm all just
Uh-huh.
like gonna
Uh-huh.
notice that she always does that.
Uh-huh. She's always like, uh-huh, uh-huh. It's like, why are you saying uh-huh? They haven't even finished a sentence. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I think it's just to show that she's listening, but it's
I
very funny
know.
if you're paying attention now that she's always just like like listening for sure. And so he tells her that he went over to Rachel and what she said to her. First thing that Gabby asks is, how did she take it?
How did she take it?
Right? How did she take
Because
that
she
news?
knows she's fragile. One, because she knows she's fragile. She knows who she's dealing with. And two, because she has compassion for her. Like, I want to make sure she's okay. But
Mhm.
she also knows that that girl is fragile. She's like, how'd you take it?
How'd you? Is she okay? How'd she take it?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
she's
Because
terrified.
I also think that in a way though, that was kind of dictating how she was going to deal with him. Because had he told her she was really distraught, she was angry, she asked me to leave the room, or like if he had told her anything like that, she probably would have been like, I'm not keeping him. I wanted to explore it, but it's not worth it. She would have been like, it's not worth it. I don't want the smoke. I don't want the crying. I'm going to just let him, go. But when he was like, well, I think she took it as well as could be expected, she was like, oh, okay. So,
And well,
I
also
think that
though,
she
I
was
think she
having
just
that in the
wants to
back of her
know
mind.
how much mess she's gonna have to clean up, right? Like she's always like,
Right. That's true.
okay, so how much am I gonna have to console her over this one? And then
Right.
also, like, is she gonna be so like, should I explore this with Logan or not? How much is it gonna upset
Right.
Rachel? Like, I think that he's also thinking that.
Right.
But he does tell
Right.
him that he was the only overlap that they had. And so
Okay.
that's kind of letting him know that she did have interest in him, but she
Uh-huh.
kind of allowed
Uh-huh.
Rachel to take the reins on that relationship. And so she wants to
Uh-huh.
talk to Rachel before anything else. But I like this conversation. I like Logan. Some people are not happy with Logan. The guys especially aren't happy with Logan, but I'm fine with him with doing this. He could do it on whatever time frame he wants. When he gets
Uh-huh.
enough courage to
He's
be able
not
to do
getting
it.
big. I mean, he's not getting big. So
I
it's like,
understand.
whatever.
It's true. It's true. So Dabu says, ironically, I think that Rachel has better men than Gabby, yet she can't focus on them. Yeah, I think so too. Like I find more of Rachel's men attractive, I think. Hold on. I like Avon. I think Tino's
Oh,
attractive. For Avon, you like him still?
yes. We think we both think he is a heartthrob.
He's a heartthrob, but I'm starting to see his Scorpio-ness, and I'm like, you can have him. You can have him, Rachel. I'm not into him at all.
I'm starting to see
But
his youth.
that's true too. But young Scorpio, I mean, it's cute, but not for me.
Yeah, cute to look at. Yeah,
yeah. So he's a lot more giddy. I guess when he was leaving, I don't know why I wrote that down. So she goes over to, yes, in his ITMs, he was like, just like so excited when he was like, I haven't seen that side of Logan. Like, honestly, Rachel's just like a fun sponge. A fun sponge. She just sucks the fun out of the room. Like, what? You want to have fun? Ooh, no, like, I'm gonna cry.
No fun allowed.
No fun zone. It's crying only and make me feel better. You want to go over to Gabby because she's having fun? No, you better not. You better not. So she goes over to Rachel, and Rachel, so Rachel's telling her what happened, and she's so like surprised with Logan, and she's like, yeah. Gabby's like, yeah, he came over to me, talked to me, and Gabby was like, how was the date? And Rachel's like, I didn't go. And Gabby's face was like,
you didn't go?
You didn't go?
Like, I couldn't. I was a wreck. I couldn't. It was just, I want to give my all, and I just couldn't.
I think like, that's when Gabby knew. She's like, oh God, like she's terrible as a Bachelorette. You didn't go on the date? Like, that's probably why everybody's jumping over to her side. Gabby's probably like, oh goodness, if she keeps on not going on the date, people are gonna be like, hey Gabby, can I come over there? Because there's no dates happening here. I'll give you a second try. Like,
I want to go on dates.
Like, you literally get 5 dates and she's like canceled 3 of them. Like, it's like,
I know.
It's not good.
It's ridiculous.
So she obviously, her favorite line is, this is humiliating. Mm-hmm. It's not really that humiliating. Like, unless you want it to be. I think it could be like, you could be thankful that someone didn't string you along for the whole season and then get to the final 2 and then being like, you know what, I really wasn't that into you, and like dumps you at the final 2. That's humiliating. Right. That could be bad. Yeah. But like, that's this guy was like, oh, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know when was the best time. I wanted to give Gabby a try. This is a new format of the season. Like, she doesn't give any sort of what's the word I want, like leeway or grace. No grace for anything.
No grace.
Just I'm humiliated. Then the line she says, he strung me along for weeks
Yeah.
and weeks and weeks. It's like, well, like
But
2 weeks.
the men could say that about her. Like if you go in the process and you're narrowing it down, and then you get to the final six to go to the final four, it used to be like hometowns, and then you get rid that the people who were in the final six could have been like, you strung me along for weeks and weeks and weeks because I didn't get to the end with you. You're not stringing anybody along. You're trying to see if there's something there, and he's like, it's nothing there.
Maybe he was giving you another chance
I
to see
mean,
whether or not a spark could happen, and it didn't. Then you canceled the rose ceremony, so he didn't have a chance, or canceled something. Anyways, I can't remember exactly what happened. And then this time comes around, canceled the date, like, oh, because of her,
right.
but because of him. But like, he doesn't necessarily have as many opportunities to do this switch up as you think. We're on week 5. Not that much has happened. You know what I mean? They've been to one country. Anyways, he accepted a rose for me, and then you do this. She's like, I hope Gabby sends him home. And what did she say about him?
Because he's shady. She said he's shady.
I don't think he's shady at all. I think that
I don't think he's shady. No.
Like whether they're trying to make a villain.
I mean, we don't know him. Let me backtrack. I don't know him to say he's not shady, but I don't think that action was shady. Let me say that because we don't know.
Okay, so if her chart, if all the what we have is proper, like so for her being from Claremont, Florida, I can't find her rising sign because I don't know her exact birth time, but her moon is actually in Libra. So that also could make me understand why she needs to be defined by relationship. So Libra is all about relationships and contracts and balance and Venus's values. And so if her emotional stability it's sought through relationship, this could be also why she's a stage 5 clinger here, is because relationships define her emotional body. So that makes sense. And then also, this is a side note, but her Chiron. So Chiron is an asteroid. Chiron is the wounded healer. And so the wounded healer is also in Libra, and the degree is at 12 degrees. And usually the degree denotes a year in the life where that wound in this lifetime occurred. So at the age of 12, I would guess that she had some sort of wound with relationship that is impacting her, that keeps on repeating herself. So my guess from just looking at what I know about this chart so far is that at 12 years old, she was dating somebody. She got humiliated and rejected by this person at the age of 12. And now she's repeating that rejection over and over and over again, because you just keep on re-wounding yourself until you learn from what you're doing. So, and then if she gets her emotional stability from it, pardon me?
Let that go. It was middle school.
I know, but she still hasn't learned from it yet. So she keeps on rewounding herself potentially. And so if she defines her emotional stability through relationship, but she keeps on rewounding herself in relationship by being humiliated. She's humiliated by Colton. She's humiliated by all these guys. Like so she's not able to get her emotional stability from relationship like she wants. She's always putting herself in a wounded scenario. So interesting. Then also her Mercury is in Pisces. So that means that she communicates like somebody that's a bit of a dreamer, that's an idealist, that loves love, that loves like Pisces is like the hopeless romantic. And so she's a hopeless romantic on top of having all these wounds about relationship that keeps on repeating itself, and she's not able to get her emotional stability and fulfillment because of the wound that she may have had when she was 12. So.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I mean, this is if I would like to ask her if that's correct. If she had something happen when she was 12, that would be my guess, that she got humiliated by a boy at 12 years old and she hasn't gotten over it yet. Subconsciously, I mean.
Yeah.
So Dabu says canceling date just robs her of time to connect with the men that are there for her, the men that are showing up for her.
Right.
Focus on that, Rachel. Focus on the positive. Focus on the people that want to be there for you, because if you don't focus on those people, then they will slip away. With hometowns looming, it's
Mm-hmm.
self-sabotage. Wouldn't surprise me if someone self-eliminates. Absolutely. Don't we see
Mm-hmm.
Zach crying? Zach doesn't look like he's going to be sticking around for hometowns. So, or after hometowns, I don't know. It seems like he's going to give some deuces. So,
I don't
I
know.
don't
It
know.
seems
I
like
don't
she's
know.
mad at Avon about something too. I don't know.
Oh boy. So we have the guys do get a night portion of the date, and she tells the guys what happened. Like, don't tell them what happened. Like,
Oh, she
or
must.
just
She must tell them.
she
She
needs them to feel
must,
sorry
because
for her, I
that
guess.
goes again. That she has to have them make her feel better and validate her and show how much they're willing to do to, see her happy.
Well, then she opens the floor to anybody that wants to leave. Like, anybody wants to leave, doesn't want to be here, like the door is yours or whatever. You can go. You can leave. Well, that's true. They can. So Logan took that opportunity to leave as well. And you weren't very nice about it.
You
But
messy.
so I call him Adrian, but Ethan's his name.
You always call him Aiden or Adrian.
Ethan pulls her over for a chat, and he just talks about how like he's there to be there for her. They kiss. I was like, Ethan, you're not sticking around for that much longer, but you got a kiss out of it. Tino, I loved Tino. Tino, he's our Aquarius, right?
Uh-huh.
Right? He does
Yep.
exactly what I think he should have done. And I was like, yes, hold her to her actions, make her accountable a little
Yep.
bit. And he did it in a way that I thought was respectful and kind, and being like, it actually really hurt me for the fact that you canceled the date, because that was also my opportunity to spend time with you. And if you're my person, I would really prefer that you would show up for me.
Yeah, and communicate.
Yeah.
Right. We should be able to tell each other anything, so you should be able to communicate.
Well, but her communications through her tears, and he uses words, which I like. I like that. So I'm into Tino. I'm into him not allowing her to get away with like this spectacle, and let her know that he was hurt by her canceling the date, because she needs someone to tell her, don't cancel these dates. Like, there are other people that are affected by you canceling these dates. Like, they might feel rejected. Like, oh, like Logan meant more to me than I do. Like, that's why she canceled the date. So if that's not what you want them to feel, don't cancel the date.
Exactly.
I said, yeesh, her making out with Tyler in that star room. I know she likes Tyler, but he looks like he's 14 to me. I'm not into Tyler.
Say that.
You think he looks like he's 27?
No, he looks like he's 23, 24 at the most. Yeah.
He looks young to me. There's somebody else that I missed, but I didn't care. Her and Zach go outside and they yell out with frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all Zach believed that he's getting the group date. They all believe they're getting the group date rose, but no, it's Tino. Tino is getting the group date rose. Tino, I mean, I know that Tino, I would say, is the front runner right now, but him being an Aquarius, I don't think he's going to be able to handle this girl. Like, he's telling her right now, like, this doesn't fly with me. He's canceling these date stuff. If more things like this happen, I could see him just being like, I'm going to take some space.
If he does, Zach is going to swoop right in there, child.
But Zach's going too. They're all leaving. I'm sorry,
So
Rachel.
who's going to be left, Tyler? Who's going to swoop in there and get her?
Yes, I do think that Rachel's and Tino's signs clash, but I do like the way that he was choosing to communicate with her. I don't know if she is going to be able to reciprocate that type of communication moving forward. I think that as he gets to know her and they realize that they don't communicate in the same way, I don't think it's going to work. Aquarius and Pisces is just no good. It's just no good. I can be tolerant to a certain point, but I can't. I'm not into needy or victim unless I'm like in work mode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In work mode, I can do that, but as a friend, I'm just like, yeah. Most of my friends are not water signs. I'd say 90% of them are air signs and
Oh, I know
fire.
you love an air sign. I know.
I
You
love
love
the
a
air.
Gemini. You love a Gemini.
I love them. They're so much fun. I don't want to cry. I want to have fun. And so yes, Rachel and Tito's sides do clash. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I do not think though that they will stay together forever. So Gabby has her group date and they're exploring the city and they're getting waffles and she's doing whipped cream shots kind of thing, like with her head under the whipped cream machine with Eric. People just seem to have fun on Gabby's dates. Like,
yeah, I was like, at first I was like, waffles. I was like, oh, Belgian waffles. It
Belgian
took me like
waffles,
30
fries
seconds.
would
I
be
was like,
good.
waffles. Oh,
Weren't
Belgian
fries
waffles. I was like,
invented in Belgium as well? I think French fries were
they
like
were?
that.
I don't
I think
know.
fries were as well. You might have to look that up for me.
Alexa, where were French fries invented?
French fries are from France and Belgium.
France and Belgium, yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it to Chantele to know stuff like that.
I know a lot of useless information. It's that Aquarius in me that likes to know
Good,
everything. I like to know it
good for
all.
trivia. Okay, you're my
I love
partner.
trivia. I
Me
love
too. I love
trivia.
trivia too. I love trivia too.
So then we see them playing soccer with the kids, and we see Nate like picking up kids and showing that he's a dad and he's comfortable around kids. Ooh.
It was
Then
cute. It was cute though.
the next part though was kind of fun too. It was rock paper scissors fish slap. It was
When
fun.
that
It was
one
silly.
fish got slapped and it was blood, I was like, are you kidding me? I don't like slimy stuff. So I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We could have wore shorts and t-shirts for this. I mean, I'm like, some of them got on suede coats. I'm like, ew, blood from a fish. I was like freaking out. I don't like it. But I like the man who was doing it. I liked him and I liked everyone's banter. So I thought it was cute, you
It
know.
was fun.
So.
It was cute. I love the guys like, making a joke of it, squaring up and whatnot. Like, I thought this was a fun moment. And like, I just can't see Rachel doing it. I'm happy that Gabby like has a little bit of relaxed fun moments. It's just fun.
Yeah.
She's fun. So the night portion of the date, Logan joins. Bum bum bum.
Did you see Nate's face? Did you see Nate's face? He was like with them twists to the side. He was like
they were not happy with his arrival.
Not happy. Not happy at all.
And they're thinking like, oh, well, like if Gabby keeps him around, like this says a lot about Gabby. And it's like, do you know what? It doesn't. It's what it says is that she had a connection that wasn't explored at all, and she has the opportunity because she's the Bachelorette to go on a couple of dates with this person. Like it doesn't necessarily change her feelings about you guys. It just gives her somebody else that she never got a chance to explore. So relax, guys.
Right.
Relax.
And guess what? Gabby knows that this here is her show. Okay.
Exactly.
And she runs this shit. Okay. She's the captain. Okay.
Of the
She's
Virgin
running this shit.
Airlines or whatever.
Right.
Virgin
Voyager. Yeah, the Virgin Voyager. Yeah, she's running this and she can insert him if she wants to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She's taking her power. Like, I guess y'all will be okay.
That same vibe is like when somebody from another season decides to come back and like enter in the season. Right. The guys are all like, oh, like, what are you doing here? But it's like, right. It happens every season, guys. It's just like, it does. Like, and why not give someone an opportunity to get to know them when you're there to try to find someone that you love? Like,
right.
If you and her are meant to be together, this will not stop you. So,
right.
I don't know. I mean, I know they're doing it for the camera, but like, just let it happen.
Right.
But the guys are thinking that Logan is the most calculated guy here. I was like, I don't know if he's that smart. Like, I think that he literally was like, damn it, I really wanted to still explore things with Gabby, but Rachel gave me the rose. Okay, I'm gonna stick it through. Maybe I'll get a chance to still talk to Gabby. Oh shoot. Okay, no, I'm not gonna be able to talk to Gabby. Oh, I'm gonna have to break up with her. Oh, rose ceremony's canceled. Shoot. Okay, I still have to break up with her. Okay. Oh, okay, now I'll break up with her. And let's see if Gabby is interested in having me. It's not that long. So Nate and Gabby are chatting, and he doesn't really like the Logan edition, but they still end up smooching. Eric and Gabby. Eric is kind of getting a little bit upset because their one-on-one was really far away, and so he doesn't feel as connected with her. And I remembered that he was really pissed that he didn't get the first impression rose. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy.
Remember that? Remember he cursed about it. Remember?
Yeah, that guy. I'm like, oh, I
with
thought
the
he was
mullet.
a runner, and then I was like, oh, but he's kind of a jerk. So, but I do like their vibe together. I'm like, oh, So Logan, though, on his little one-on-one moment with Gabby, they kiss, and I was like, okay, like she was
like, let me see if I remember it right. It's been a minute. Yeah. Let me see what those
minute. So Nate gets the group date rose, and Eric is pissed. He's pissed. He's upset. He doesn't know where he stands. Doesn't want to waste his time. This whole season is a waste of your time. Like, unless you're the one. So if you don't have faith that you are the one, then maybe you should go. Because you will not know until you know.
Yeah.
So we see Avon and Rachel's one-on-one. They do talk about their signs. He's a Scorpio. She's a Pisces. They actually do go really well together. Both water signs, both understand emotions and stuff like that. So from their sun sign, they are a match, I would say. I think that they look very cute together.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what the tradition was where they got the veils and stuff like that. I didn't rewind, so I don't know what the explanation was. But the
ladies were just saying it was tradition for people to make veils and sell them, like in right there. So then they just were like, "Oh, why don't you try? Why don't you try?" They just so happened to walk by them, and she just so happens to say, "Why don't you try one on?" And then, they went from there. And she was like, "Oh, I imagine getting married one day." The veil, and girl, she loves the way he kisses her. You can tell. She be all into them kisses.
Water. That kiss is going to work for sure. For sure. So the night portion of the date, we see Avon talking about his estranged relationship with his mom, but they were able to, reconnect as adults, rekindle their relationship, and she made him a bracelet. And this bracelet she decided to give to Rachel as a token to help give her strength in this process. So I like that he's considering her as like an emotional person, that this emotional gift will be something that she appreciates, and she seemed to really appreciate it. And I thought it was very sweet gesture.
She did, girl. She did.
It's a good luck bracelet. I was like, that's very nice, Avon. That's very sweet. And I did like that. I said they're definitely vibing. Water, good vibes. I still don't think that she's going to marry him, but they definitely have good vibes together.
Yeah.
So the guys are back on Gabby's side, and they tell Johnny about what happened with Logan coming. Oh my God. And then there's a group date. Wait, not group date.
How do you feel about Johnny?
I don't even know who he is.
Yeah,
we have a date about him.
You always say that. You always say that. And I'm like, the one with the straight nose, you're like, oh.
I know who he is now for not knowing who he was or is, but I still don't know his vibe. I don't know what, this is the most obviously I've gotten to know him so far, but the fact that he's getting a one-on-one, I was like, really? There's not other people that you'd want to have a one-on-one with? I was like, okay.
I think he was such a mystery to her that she just wanted to see if she could get him to open up, and if not, just send him home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she just wanted to kind of weed him out, but then she ended up having a good date with him. So
Yeah, she says he's kind of macho and too cool for school, which she doesn't usually go for, but like he's kind of funny, so she's giving him a chance. He's coming around the
Drinking
corner to
that
meet up
beer
with
in that
her.
bathtub, drinking that beer in that bathtub. I don't play stuff like that. Like you got your body in this liquid and you're sitting here. I don't do stuff like that.
Ew, ew. But did you notice her running, laughing Hooju? Was it you that was telling me that Gabby made a statement that she doesn't like the Hooju, the hug jump?
uh-uh.
But she
Uh-uh.
did. Someone was saying, I don't know where I heard it, but that she doesn't like the hug jump. But he does come around the corner and she does like run and gives him like a laughing hug jump. Hooju. So they're going to this was it beer farm? And it's a beer brewing family of 6 generations. So they're going to be brewing some beer and then they're going to do a beer spa and they're being silly, spanking each other with, I don't know what that was, like a branch.
Something like grass thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, looked like they were laughing, but it also kind of looked fake. I don't know. Like they're putting it on a little bit. So much fun. Like, were you actually having that much fun? Actually, or like were you just like pretending like you're having that much fun? I'm not sure. So the night portion of her date, he opens up to her and she gives him the rose, the date rose. So I was like, I guess we're gonna see a little bit more of him. I'll remember his name at this point. Because even when it was like, oh, Johnny has a one-on-one, I was like,
Who's Johnny?
who's Johnny? So Rachel's guys aren't happy with Logan before the cocktail guys. I mean, it must have been Gabby's. Maybe it's Rachel's. I don't know. But nobody likes Logan, apparently.
Nobody.
Definitely the villain. They're trying to create a villain arc for him, 100%. But Gabby and Rachel show up to the cocktail party. And she goes on those mini like one-on-one dates and she has a moment with Nate, Gabby, and she gives Nate a present of some Belgium chocolate.
That was so sweet and
That's
thoughtful.
sweet.
That really was thoughtful, and that meant so much to him. Like, you thought of my daughter. Like,
Because she's not picking
if
you.
I was
That's
a
why.
parent,
She's like,
that would have melted.
I'm not picking you, so I'm gonna give you some chocolate.
I think that's what's gonna come. Even though she was thinking of his daughter, and she was like, "I know you probably don't get to go souvenir shopping." I actually think, though, because she's gonna think of his daughter so much, that's gonna cause her to be like, "Oh, I'm not ready to be nobody's mama." You know what I mean? Like, just kind of, that's also going to weed him out. Like, she thinks it's enduring, like it's an enduring quality. And I like that, just seeing him play soccer with the kids. I can tell he's a good parent. Oh, yeah, his daughter. He talks about her. Oh, it's so
It's
sweet.
like,
And then he's going to be like, but I can't deal with that. I'm not ready to be nobody's stepmama. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's going to, because she's still dealing with that trauma with her mom.
Absolutely. She's not ready, for sure. For sure. Especially since it would be that I don't know if she's estranged from her own mom, but like there is going to be some distance when she's with them or whatnot. Like I think it could be triggering for her, for sure. For sure. Right. So yeah, I don't see her ending up with Nate, unfortunately. So Logan has his little moment with Gabby, and I thought this was smart and cute. He decides to bring out a fish and do like the rock, paper, scissors fish slap with Gabby because he wasn't on that date with her guys. I thought that was cute. He wanted to catch up. He thought of something to do, and I thought that was a smart move.
Yeah, it was.
I like it. So they used a different locale for the rose ceremony. I don't know where on the boat this was, but like it was interesting. So Gabby chooses Jason, Spencer, Eric, and Logan. Logan makes the cut. And that means that Mario, her first impression rose, and Michael are bye-bye.
Wow.
Then
I didn't know why Michael was around anyways. I never even seen her talk to this man.
Never.
I never
Not one
that
time.
other black guy. It's like I never saw her talk to that man.
No idea who he is. No clue. So Rachel chooses Zach, Tyler, and Ethan. So bye-bye Meatball. And so they're going to be going to Amsterdam next. Obviously the people that's already had roses. So who was Gabby's date? Johnny had a rose already, and did she have one more person?
Nate.
And Nate had a rose, and then Rachel had already given a rose to Tino and
Avon,
cutie.
Mhm.
So they're going to be going to Amsterdam next, and all I wrote is lots of crying to come.
Yes. Gabby's crying too. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. I'm like,
Dabu,
maybe
you're
it's the
right.
high pressure. He was Dabu.
Mark was a flop of a first impression rose. Yeah, usually the first impression rose from the women is usually who they choose. That's been like more times than not. So it is very surprising that
he
he's
wore
out.
the same suit again. Remember, he was like, I got on my same suit when you gave me the first impression rose. I'm like, ooh, now you're going home in that suit. Ooh. Yeah.
Rachel says, I'm not sure why they're putting black guys on or black girls on this franchise when they know that they aren't going to make it far. I guess for diversity, but I don't know. It's so predictable. I'm a black woman, by the way. Yes, Rachel. I mean, they're trying to increase diversity, but what we're always complaining about is the fact that they're not choosing people that like all diversities or have dated all backgrounds or have experience with all different cultures. And so that's why it's not working. The only time it's really worked is on Love is Blind, where Cameron, he actually, when Lauren's father asks him, have you ever been the only white guy in a room with black people before? Have you ever dated a black woman before? He's like, yes, I have. And that is most likely why this is working between them, is because it's not his first time being in a relationship with a black woman and being around black people and black culture. So they need to get more diverse people, but they're not more diverse in the casting. They're not more diverse in production. They're not more diverse in the fandom. So they're trying to appease by bringing up the amount of diversity that they put on the show, but they haven't changed. Exactly. They haven't changed everything around it. Like, people that date multiple different races are very different people than just date their own race. And they need to figure that out. But I don't think they know how to cast that because they're not diverse themselves. And they've never had that experience. So they don't know. Y'all see how Rachel looked at Logan after Gabby gave him the rose? No, I didn't.
It was a shady look, boy.
I gotta go back and watch that. That's funny. Well, that's pretty much it for the episode, I think. Was there anything that I missed that we didn't talk about?
No.
Okay.
Nope. I had more fun talking with you about it than I did.
I know. At least I'm laughing. Yeah. I mean, at this point, the season is so bad that it is becoming comical. I do only like a Gabby only season. That would have been, I think, better pick. But then Rachel would be like, me and Rachel, like me and Gabby were in the same position. Like, why does she get to be the Bachelorette?
Yep.
Why? Why am I not reviewing Big Brother? Because the first 2 weeks were abysmal, and I hated every single second of it. And I was only watching it if I was going to be doing a live feed update or doing a roundtable. I mean, I was watching it obviously, but like I was only taking notes and stuff like that. So I was just like, I didn't want to review it, and then it got better, and so I'm just doing guest spots and stuff right now. But the beginning of the season was so bad that I didn't want to just constantly be talking about how terribly Taylor was being treated. Like, that's all I would be talking about. And I was just feeling really bad about how they were treating her, and like the whole Paloma of it all. Like, it was just so terrible at the beginning of the season that
terrible.
I just didn't want to watch it and critique it, you know? But now it's better.
Thank goodness for that leftover.
To get better. Pardon me?
Thank goodness for the leftovers. Like,
exactly.
You know.
they saved the season, but that's why I didn't start it, because I had plans on doing it, and then it was just like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is bad. Oh, am I gonna watch this like I usually watch it? I'm like, maybe I don't even like Big Brother anymore. And then it switched and got better. But yeah, it was too bad at the beginning. Well, that's everything. Do you have anything going on that you want to share with the people, Miss TJoy?
No, not this week. Just working hard.
That's fine. Well, just make sure you follow Reality Realness with 3 S's. Obviously, also follow Miss TJoy on all her social media channels. Like this video and let us know if you think this would be a better season if Gabby was the only Bachelorette. Let me know. Let me know what you think about the season. Are we being too hard on Rachel? What do you think about how this season is going? We're going into episode 6, and I don't think we've had one without a lot of tears. So let me know what you think, and if these 2 women have any hope of finding some true love. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. We'll probably be back right after the episode next week. Yeah. See you soon. Bye. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great. Oh, hold on. Yes. Is the next episode the last before hometown? Lots of men to get rid of. Yeah, I think so. Not that many to get rid of. I guess like 3. 2.
3.
How many do they have? 5 or 6?
2 for well, I think Rachel only has 5 guys and Gabby has 6.
So yeah, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Not too bad. All right. We'll see you guys next week for the pre-hometown episode.